No, we are now live. Well, live for reals, and they can hear us. I've been muted, and I've actually started recording. So, officially, we are live on our R1 chat that we do nearly every Wednesday. We do miss a few because normally we're at a gig or something, or I don't know, on holiday. Yeah, doing something more fun. Like last week, we went and saw 9 Inch Nails at O2, which was quite good. Pretty nice. Long old day. But enough about that. It's about now, tonight, where we're joined by... I don't know what side. Would you like to go around the room and say what you'll do, well, who you are and what you do?
I am Matty. I am lead vocalist and guitarist.
Charlie, piano, and occasionally little guitar on the back.
I'm Tommy, I'm the bold bassist.
I am George, and I am the drummer.
Cool. We got the whole lot in.
Just for you.
So, and what type of music would you describe yourself as?
Indie rock is the best description for it.
It's quite a broad term, isn't it, indie rock?
Yeah.
At the moment it is anyway.
Yeah.
And all the time, it's like when you get alternative rock, it's like it could mean anything.
Yeah.
Like it could literally mean anything.
Yeah. Or like you could even a bit of post-punk.
Yeah, a little bit.
But everyone says that as well, though. Yeah.
Again, it's all just a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
We can't be defined by genres.
We find a lot of the time it's best for other people to define you, if that makes sense.
Decide,
Yeah. You know, you kind of get into that thing. Unless they call you alt rock when you tell them no. Just be like, so yeah, absolutely not. And where are you based?
We are based in various places. Bedfordshire,
Mainly.
Luton,
Like Bedford.
Hatfield.
Hertfordshire, the one road.
Hertfordshire.
It's kind of like heads, hearts.
Heartbeds Bucks.
Yeah.
Hearts Bed Bucks.
Just outside of London.
Right, just outside of London. Everyone loves London, don't know.
Venturing into.
And what's the music scenes like in your area?
Quite good, to be fair. At the minute, it wasn't really much before sort of people our age came along, but there's been a lot of bands forming in our area. And there's a good little venue circuit that we all sort of rotate around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good little music scene at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah,
100%.
it's definitely picked up in the last couple of years, hasn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Like places like the Horn, Esquires, the Castle,
Yeah.
Club 85 even in Hitchin.
Yeah, but it's not to say that they were ever down, just saying like
at the
in
moment.
terms of the music scene that we're part of, it's just sort of come to fruition in the last couple of years.
Crawford Arms as well. That's a good one.
It's fair enough. And when did you start as Matty Ram?
Oh, here we go.
So I started as my own solo artist in 2022.
No, 2021.
21.
First year of college, 21.
Be right, yeah, 21. And then since then, on to become a full band.
Only recently.
Only recently, to be fair, January this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We sort of got together, and we've been a full band ever since.
Mm-hmm. And was that always your goal, was to get to a full band, or was it kind of something that you decided to go towards?
It was definitely what I was working towards. I was playing a lot of acoustic shows and solo shows, and it was fine. I was really enjoying it, but getting the band in was definitely the next step for the music. It just made sense considering the music I was making, and yeah, haven't looked back since.
Thanks, mate.
And do you all, is it mainly just you who writes the songs, or is it all more of a collaborative effort now?
A collaborative effort. We've just been working on a new EP. Exciting times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't say much about it.
No.
Yeah, but we do. We'll sort of put our own 2 pence in.
Yeah. It just kind of starts as maybe one person comes up with the chord ideas, and then you bring it to Matt. Matt will write the lyrics, and then George has always got a weird, extravagant drum part, and then obviously our ball bassist over here just riffs out on the bass.
Yeah.
It's a nice process.
Comes together quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's organic. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Do you,
That's a good, yeah.
do you kind of jam it out, or is it more everyone brings their own parts in and then you go for it, or is it?
It's a bit of both, isn't it?
A bit of both, yeah.
Yeah.
It always starts with someone bringing something to the table, and then we'll jam it out until we've got a cool idea on our hands.
Yeah,
Just go from there, progress forward.
100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I guess we'll go in. It's more of an individual question, so if we go around the room about it, who influences you the most? Would you say?
Ooh, good question.
It could be anyone. It doesn't have to be just music. You know, it could be.
Yeah. Changes daily. Changes with every song. Nah. Who I rip off today? No, definitely mainly bands like Arctic Monkeys, Block Party, Cruel, sort of that sort of realm of guitar-driven music's definitely definitely been the leading inspiration for my Spontaneous DC exactly. Yeah, leading inspiration for my musical journey, if you will.
Yeah, it's kind of the main three you stick with, isn't it?
Yeah, not in a sense of like
It's like ground zero.
trying to imitate them, but more so. But no, but it's
You feed off of it.
yeah, a little bit. Like you just like I like to watch a lot of live music on YouTube, and so it's not even just a writing music thing, but like performing live, sort of just looking at what they're doing and like studying it.
Yeah,
in a way, you know what I mean.
100%.
Go on, Charlie.
But it's difficult, isn't it? Again, it just changes regardless. I mean, of what you listen to at the time. I think mainly you can't dispute Coldplay have been a big of mine. They just, I think I went for a big phase of them. I kind of died out a bit now. I've listened to them to exhaustion, but for the last kind of 4 years or so, I'm kind of inspired by a lot of newer bands now, kind of more refreshing music. I find that I listen to artists to absolute what's the word? Exhaustion.
It's a bad habit, really.
It is a bad habit, yeah. So I get inspired really quickly by new artists. Like I'm wearing a top from an incredible band called Balance and Act. Seen them a fair few times. They're a good band. Bands like Keo and just things like that. There's a band called the Night Cafe that are quite good. You put me onto them. They're good. But yeah, it's all just new stuff inspires me a lot more than old boring stuff.
The problem with Charlie is we'll buy tickets to go see something that he's into at the time. By the time the gig comes around, he's like,
Into them anymore.
Yeah. I'm going to change up the vibe entirely. I'm a metal person, so I listen to Sleep Token, Bill Murray. I love Enter Shikari. I'm a massive fan, so they inspire me. Don Broco, kind of neck deep, that kind of pop punk phase. Yeah, like 2014 summer. But I like kind of the riffier, heavier stuff, and then Lorna Shore, Nine Inch Nails, Korn, everything like that. You can't no love. So, a lot of inspiration there.
I should have gone there. I didn't mention any of my heavier side. I just
tucked in.
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to start. As a drummer, I like to play and take inspirations from all different types.
You see his playlist is.
At this point I might as well not have a playlist because I'm trying to listen to everything as much as possible. I do like a lot of jazz. Nate Smith, he's an incredible drummer. He influences me quite a lot with quite a lot of the dense phrasing that he does, which I like. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. That's good word. Dense phrasing that he uses in his like drum beats, for example, or anything from jazz to I do quite like drill, UK drill. I like UK rap. Who's against Skepta. I love Skepta.
Yeah, there you go.
Good one. Yeah. And lastly, Loyal Kana. He's a massive one of mine. He's just an absolute sweetheart. He's awesome. I look up to him. I think he's like just a cool person ever.
If you look at George's playlist, I guarantee there's not one person on there that I know at all. It's all just completely random music. It's good though.
It's good. So you all got.
I never knew that was it.
What did you do now?
Yeah.
You've got quite a range you all bring to the table then, almost.
Yeah, and I think that's the good thing about it is that if we were all just ripping off the same band, we're going to sound like
You can sound like that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's always nice to get people from different backgrounds together.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's a bit like us in our band. We're mainly all a bit rock centric, I guess. But I'm a big metalhead and everything. But the others aren't quite into metal as much as I am. We're which is a shame. But I'm bringing them to a metal festival this year. We're all going to Bloodstock. But after I go literally every single year, and I was like, you just got to go because it's like absolutely incredible. So I'm hoping to convert them over into more metalheads, which would be quite good.
I didn't know Bloodstock was a really, really big metal festival.
Yeah. It's because Download tops it.
Download. Oh, okay.
Everybody.
Yeah,
knows
it's not.
Download.
Bloodstock's not really big, but it's probably one of the big. It's one of the biggest independent ones because it's completely like family run and independent. It is pretty good.
The other one, 2000 Trees, is that? No, that's not.
That's more like pop punk. That's like
Yeah.
slam dunk.
Oh yeah,
It's a
okay.
bit mixed. Like,
Yeah, they do a big mix. 2000 Trees, I think. Yeah.
2000 Trees.
rock festivals, like, you want to say.
Yeah.
Well, then look at Reading this year.
Oh, yeah,
They've got like Bring Me the
Who knows
Horizon,
what Reading is?
Shakes My Feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reading's always weird because they used to be a big metal festival, and they kind of went more into like rap and hip hop and a bit more pop now. Now they're almost like completely.
Yeah.
They're like it's like a really split down the middle at the moment.
They
With
just
what
go
they've
with
done.
the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you're taking away from it? Yeah. It's like, out of all the hundreds of
That was the best artist on the day.
Falling from grace is what the point I was making.
Yeah. 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 They just go with what's popular, I suppose.
I think it is.
Who doesn't like it? Yeah, sorry.
Who doesn't like most people, but
But yeah, that's a crazy thing. So do you go to many live gigs and everything? Live, is there any big ones you've seen which have really like stood out to you?
well, we go to at least one every week, pretty much.
Yeah. Coldplay. That was good. That was actually in Luton, wasn't it? £35. Coldplay. Back garden.
What was that the BBC,
Yeah.
BBC thing? Yeah,
Big
that was
weekend. You cannot complain.
Yeah, but I do about 40 gigs a year.
I'm close, sort of, to that.
You come to a fair few. Yeah. I mean, like Charlie said earlier, we love small bands as well.
Big band died twice. Seen them a couple of times there. Quality.
They're insanely good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
So yeah. And then like if we're talking about big scale gigs, Block Party.
Block Party was incredible.
I've seen Arctic Monkeys a couple of times.
Crystal Palace Stadium.
I've seen Kasabian. I've seen what was the other really good one that we went to?
Inhaler.
Inhaler was good. I'm thinking something different though. Yeah, there's too many to even get into.
Fathom.
Yeah. Is there any way which you saw and you were like you kind of looked at them and be like, I want to be doing that. What they're doing. I want to.
Twice, funny enough, because it's they're a great band, but it seemed like a very reachable goal. If you're watching someone play in O2 Arena, thinking, that's great, they're great, but you're thinking,
Realistic, is it?
Yeah.
You put yourself down to say that, but just you see someone in a Islington Academy, for example.
Yeah.
You're thinking, I could do this sort of
The
thing.
thing is, if
Yeah.
you set yourself up for the O2, anything less than that, you're just going to class as a disappointment, regardless of how close you get to it. If you don't achieve the O2, you're just going to think, I failed.
Yeah.
But if you do compare yourself to someone that's slightly closer to where you are,
Yeah, more
then
to
it's
your-
easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the beauty about seeing small bands as well, is that when you go and see them, obviously they're not playing in the massive arenas, bricks and O2s and all that. So you kind of get to see what the venues are like in the local area as well. You find some hidden gems out there when you see some of the smaller bands.
No, yeah, absolutely. Just trying to find them. Well, I suppose no, they're always there, aren't they? Just we find a lot in our area at the moment. We normally have gigs on like 3-4 times a week. We've got like three or four different venues, and a lot of time they'll get like the smaller bands in, but there's like not as many people going to the gigs anymore.
Yeah.
And then they'll get someone in who's a bit more well known and everything, and then everyone's all of a sudden flood into the gigs and everything. It's like where is everyone when when this band's playing? And they're just as good. They deserve the stage to play and everything.
It's just a self-destructive cycle though, because in order to run, the venue have to put the ticket prices so high.
Yeah.
And speaking as a big goer as well as a person who plays gigs, if I'm on the off chance walking into a venue and I have no idea of the band playing, and I literally get through the door and the bloke goes, £10 please mate. I don't even know who's playing.
Yeah.
Already shoving a card reader in my face. I'm just gonna walk out. Speaking as he goes to gigs. So I don't blame
Yeah.
people for doing that
No.
as
yeah.
well. You know what I mean?
It is a gap.
But it's not the venue's fault. Like I say, they have to put it that way to run on the night. Yeah.
No.
You got to give small bands chances sometimes. You can't just go with the big stuff all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Otherwise, there'd be no local music scene because everyone would just be so discouraged about not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Local venue to us, the Horn in St Albans. We were actually speaking to the person who puts the gigs on there, and he was saying like, we like to get small bands in as much as possible, but in order to cover sort of our costs for doing that, they will always book the weekends up with cover bands.
Yeah.
And that's when they get the big money, not even from the tickets, but from drinks and everything.
Yeah.
You know, they're almost doing that so that they can,
Getting small bands in, yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah, that's all we normally play a there's a few festivals and that which do that, where they little small festivals where they have, on the main stage it's mainly all the the tribute bands and everything, and then they do get original artists in, like, and sprinkle them in between, because it's like they want to do it as an all originals festival, but in order to get those ticket sales they have to bring in the big tribute bands and that, which so it's kind of a one in, one out kind of. They're doing the best.
I think it does work, because I saw some tribute band and I actually thought that the support act were better than the tribute band.
That's when you saw the Antarctic Monkeys at Buffett Esquires and their Daybreak supporting. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was an Oasis actually, and I'm not the biggest Oasis fan anyways, but support band Rolling Thunder.
Oh yeah,
they were brilliant, and it's like actually they were much better.
Same places.
So it does work. It is a tried and true thing. I mean, I supported a Killers tribute band. Just gone, wasn't it? Last week. And yeah, it was cool to play to a room that was reasonably full.
Yeah.
On a Friday night, even.
And the problem is with that though, is you're playing on a Friday night. You're playing on a slot with quite a big cover band, but when you go there and you hear it's sold out, I think as a support act you deserve to have that. I know you might not want to go there because you don't want to waste your time. You'd rather be downstairs having a drink, but at the same time, I think if you are playing on that bill, you do deserve maybe not all the audience, but as much of an audience as you can get. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you see people that are supporting and they've got about 5 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
As soon as they walk off and the main band's on,
Everyone's there.
300 people at capacity, everyone's squeezing in. I think that's just a bit.
Yeah, but you're talking again as a musician. Think about it from a consumer's perspective, because we go to plenty of gigs where we miss the support act.
No, we don't.
We do know, and I know it's on a larger scale, like say see Taylor at Brixton Academy.
Yeah.
We probably will blank, obviously because we've got to travel to get there as well and everything, and we like a drink and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at it from that perspective, you understand that you're just grateful for whoever does come up.
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying though. Like if you pay for the ticket,
you might as well.
drink upstairs instead of drinking in the downstairs bar with nothing on.
Yeah. So I nearly always see all the supports if I can, but unless, like you said, when you're traveling and it's like, I finish work at 5, support band's on at like 6 or 7, and it's gonna, if I'm in Bournemouth, if I'm going to Southampton, that's like an hour or so ish, depending on traffic and that, and I'm probably gonna miss, unless I'm rushing around not having dinner.
Yeah.
And then,
exactly. Yeah.
It's two-sided coin, isn't it?
Yeah. So speaking of tributes and covers, do you do any covers, or are you just mainly originals, or all originals?
Mainly originals, but there is a couple gigs that we do where
situational, isn't it?
Yeah, there is a couple gigs where having a cover benefits.
That was mainly in the past, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but even still, we've got a couple gigs coming up.
Again, it's
it
all depends on the audience and the place.
Yeah, because some gigs they just ask you to do that, and that's perfectly fine. We don't mind doing that. We understand that at this level, that's the reality of it.
Anyone out there? What you said, we don't mind doing that.
It's one of those things. Call it a necessary evil would be suggest that we despise doing covers. We don't despise doing covers. Obviously, obviously we want to do our own stuff, and that's that. But we're totally okay with the reality that some gigs, 2 or 3 covers are in the set,
and that's where you separate it between music music being, your original music being what you want to do, and turning your music into a business. Sometimes you need to be more business headed about gigs like that. You think, well, I'm not going to turn down this opportunity because it'll probably pay for petrol and a bit of money in people's pockets. All we got to do is chuck in a couple of covers, make people happy, and we're fine.
But also, if they enjoy the covers, they'll stick around for the original stuff, and they go, actually, that's not bad at all.
Yeah,
and you get people that way.
Yeah,
exactly.
As a consumer,
As a consumer,
I've been in the of set horns, and I've heard a cover being played, and I'm running, and they're wicked, and then I see the next song, it's an original, and I'm like, oh, this is still wicked.
This is still cool.
There you go.
Then on the other side of the coin, you do run the risk of people enjoying the cover and going away with that and thinking, wow, that was a good cover, but the rest of the stuff was a bit shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That's down to you. You've got to impress with your own songs.
Or make the cover shit. Either or.
Yeah,
exactly. But like, for example, that Royal Otis band they're playing Glastonbury, aren't they? Yeah, they did that Cranberries cover, and that's such a good cover, but
no, they did Murder on the Dance Floor cover.
no, they didn't.
Oh, Cranberry. Oh, Finger. Yeah.
And no disrespect to them, I'm sure they're an incredible band, but I can't name one Royal Otis song apart from that.
I can name 11.
Really?
Yeah. I like them. They're pretty good. Yeah, no, and there are other bands like there's a band called DMAs. But they're a big band, but their most famous thing is doing a cover of Believe by Cher, and they always do it in their set. And it's just one of those things. Yeah.
At least they do it. You get a lot of bands who just don't play their biggest song anymore.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are you not playing your biggest song? That's why everyone's here. Well, that's why literally why everyone's there, because they've probably heard that song. And they have to hear it, and they're like, "No, we're not going to play it. We're not going to play our biggest song."
They want to prove something to themselves.
Yeah.
So the audience wants you.
It's a bit annoying.
Radiohead.
Placebo as well. Placebo never play Beautiful Morning.
The thing about
They started doing
Placebo
Nancy
is
Boy. When I saw them, they did Nancy Boy, and I was like, okay, that's all right.
that album, what's it called? Without You I'm Nothing. That's their best album.
Yeah.
And just because they hate it, they don't play nothing off
No.
it.
It's because it made him famous, and then they're like, no, we don't like that one. We're sick of that one. It's not us anymore. And you're like, okay. Okay, sure. But then again, they always do funny things, don't they, when they don't play because, the crowd's not right or something, or people are on their phones, and they're like, yeah, we're not playing anymore. And you're like,
They're one of them,
okay. Which is alright, because when I saw them, literally no one was on their phones, and it was quite good, to be honest.
That's fine.
But yeah. So there's something there, I guess. But
Yeah.
they're a good band. I've got another question we can do around the room,
Okay.
if you would like. What's the big thing you do outside of music?
Oh god.
Your favorite thing to do outside, which if there is one.
Oh.
Drinking. Yeah. That goes hand in hand. Yeah. Well, my job and George's job is the same job. We're both music teachers, so our occupation is also our hobby. We're into sport, darts, football.
Yeah. A bit of
Golf.
badminton every now and again.
Badminton, if feeling changing it up. Skating.
Yeah.
We're definitely quite sporty in that sense.
Yeah.
Going out drinking, like you say.
Yeah.
Having a nice time. Oh, George.
oh, my God.
Give us an inside job. It's just around the room.
Okay. I like to skateboard. Skateboarding is really fun. I like anything to do with a board. That's my main thing other than music. If I'm not known for music and playing drums, they're known by skating. It's either one of the two. I'm not just George. I'm the skater or the drummer.
Two definitive traits.
I'm a bit of a what's the word? Not an insult.
Wow. There you go.
No, introvert.
That's a better word.
That's a better word. I actually am quite known for Twitch streaming, and I stay inside all day basically playing games. So I have nothing better to do. But yeah, if I'm not doing music, I'm on my computer, I'm playing games, I'm streaming, stuff like that.
What's your favourite game to stream?
Binding of Isaac.
What's that?
Binding of Isaac. That's great. Any roguelike.
Have you played Risk of Rain 2?
I'm going to buy it this weekend.
That's my favorite game ever made. it's
Oh, I've heard so many good things. I
it's
need
very
to buy
good.
it now.
It is very good. And of
Oh,
course,
here we go. Goodbye, Toby.
What do you like to do outside?
Yeah, no, a lot of them. Well, I think, yeah, like you said, sports most of the time. Quite enjoy my golf at the moment. I work on a golf course anyway, so again, it kind of goes hand in hand with what I do outside of music. I do like to occasionally tinkle with building PCs. Sorry.
Mhm.
built my own-
Tinker, not
Tinkle
tinkle.
and I like to tinkle.
He tinkles on
Basically, what you
PCs.
said, if you've got a PC on the floor, you just piss.
Yeah.
You know, about 5 years ago, I built my very own PC. It's quite fun just taking it apart, upgrading parts as I go along, playing
Mhm.
games every now and again. If the clouds are making me sad, but if the sun's out, then I'm not going to be inside.
Yes. Quite outdoorsy, aren't we?
Yeah, and drinking as well. If I didn't already mention that.
Fair enough. Yeah. I've always built my PCs. That's what I've always done. It's crazy when you build it and it just works. You're like,
It's like Lego, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the first try, and when you have to install Windows, and it's like that's the hardest
boot.
process. Like building the PC
First.
easy. Yeah, doing the first boot, no. So that's so I've got hiccups and burps all at the same time. It's not going well for me. So we've got some. We'll go back to the live stuff. How would you describe your live performance, if you could?
What the hell is that?
Flamboyant.
Energetic.
George, give us a one-word answer.
Oh, I was gonna say something. Wicked. I'll come back to this. I'm gonna come back to a word.
Wicked.
I'd say
Wicked.
quite frenetic.
We all doing just one word.
Yeah.
This is what we plan to.
I said flamboyant.
No, you say another one now.
What? Oh crap.
Like you said earlier, it's better if other people do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna put it back on the audience.
Maybe, yeah. Well, right at the end, yeah. Write the review for us.
Tight.
Got quite tight. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of them where
Sexy.
we don't waste
Sweaty.
we don't waste a lot of time. We've got a lot of songs to sort of play, and if we only got a 30-minute set,
Yeah.
we're cutting songs off. So we try and get 8 songs in, don't we? So we're not
Yeah,
really we're not really hanging about killing time or anything. We're just sort of in and out.
Yeah.
This is it, sort of thing.
So
Isn't it?
we're quite comfortable.
Shock. It's a shock of lightning.
It is, yeah. Shock of lightning. Yeah. People, the audience is going. Oh, no. That's good. Are they coming back or what?
Yeah.
That's just after the first one.
And that was after the first song.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
They had their phones out, so we just walked off.
Yeah.
We actually have a 7-song on.
And do you prefer playing live, or do you prefer all the writing and recording and all that?
Playing.
Playing live.
Yeah.
I think
There's nothing that you
It's been-
can't beat the live.
It's been really satisfying building this EP.
I don't think they're comparable. I don't think you can compare them. I think they're two separate things. Playing, I think, enjoying the process of writing your music, recording your music, getting all the fine details in. I think that fuels your love for playing it live because, I know you get a good crowd interaction. You're on adrenaline, but when you're actually playing the songs that you've just spent time after time, months creating, you get that sense of pride because you spent so long behind it and because
Yeah.
you've got a good reaction in front of you. So I think they go hand in hand. But
Yeah, it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation, isn't it? Because on the one hand, it's cool take songs from the live set into the studio, but vice versa as well.
yeah, 100%.
Realizing the songs you've created live
Have a good,
satisfying.
I've got a good response.
I still say live.
Yeah, all right, mate.
Have you do you like test your songs live before you've recorded them and everything, or is it more you get it recorded and done, or
No, we don't really test. If we were gonna we would test ideas like within the set as in we do like a warm up gig for a big gig, or just workshop ideas on stage.
Most of the time that comes in rehearsal, though, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
Sometimes you think, well, realistically, have we got enough time to make this song as good as it needs to be setlist worthy? If not, well, we'll just put it in the archive for now and play it next time.
I think more so, like, we come up with ideas on the spot during the performance that end up in the song.
Yeah.
Like, you do some piano bits that you just literally made up on the spot. And then we're in the studio trying to remember what the hell he's done during the set.
Well, yeah, exactly. I honestly cannot keep track of how many times I've heard a different drum fill come out of George's kit.
Exactly.
That's the cool thing, though.
Yeah,
like,
it keeps me on my toes. I'm thinking, right, this is going to come now. What the hell is going on?
Yeah. I like to, when you're playing live, as a drummer myself anyway.
Are you a drummer, though?
I'm a drummer.
Are you sure?
I'm like at least 5% sure that I'm a drummer. At least. But yeah, when I'm playing live, I feel it's not really important, but it's really fun to stop laughing at me, Charlie.
Sorry.
To just switch up like a drum fill. Like normally in like the same place, I won't just do it anywhere random. But it's kind of like catch the energy of the crowd and us on stage as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of mixing that, adding it to our thing. Like we did.
If it's a really bad gig and there's no energy, he just doesn't play. He just puts the sticks down.
Yeah. Because I went to see a band called Shame. They were backing up Wonder Horse when I went to see them in Ali Pally, and the bassist was literally running side to side, jumping the lengths of the stage, playing the bass. And I'm like, you never do that. You never ever do that in rehearsal.
No.
That's something that just happens.
Yeah.
You're just amped on whatever he was amped on.
Yeah.
What were you saying? You said about a song we did recently.
Oh, we're for boys like me. When we've been, I don't know if we did it first live or if we did it first in rehearsal, but like from what you were saying earlier, changing stuff in the set, kind of as a performance to then recording or doing whatever. We do this cool, like, I just did it once and I tried to match like a drum fill to Matt's vocals and it just landed perfectly.
Yeah, and then we've done it
ever since.
Yeah.
And the hardest part as well.
That's the hardest part, actually.
Oh, is it hardest part?
Yeah.
But
yeah, in terms of live, so I suppose we did debut them before recording them, but we knew they were going to get recorded. If you know what I mean, it wasn't like a test. It was more so a this is what's happening. Get used to it, sort of thing.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Hard launch, everything.
Yeah.
Manifestation.
Fair enough. Evan, do you have any pre-show rituals you do, or any like good luck charms you do?
Well, I have to split the tea every time. That is just something I need to do.
I always eat a red apple because some woman once told me that your vocals sound better if you eat a red apple. Fact.
Really?
I wouldn't know. I do it, so we'll see one day. One day I'll forget to do one, we'll see.
Is that on your right? It's the red apple on your rider. Have you got that like top of the rider? Like, I cannot perform without a red apple.
Exactly, yeah. Must be one waiting for me.
Yeah.
We don't have one collective. It's just we have our own ones, don't we? We should have a collective.
Yeah. I would say
We do like to have a talk and everything.
Yeah, we put our hands together and go,
Yeah. I'm sure some bands do. I'm sure some bands do actually do that.
Yeah.
They all chant their band name and everything, and they go like.
Well, we don't really need. We're sort of. We don't really need psychic.
By the time
We're sort of ready for it.
I mean, by the time we finish soundtrack, I'm already like, can we just get on?
Buzzing, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what I do like to do. I like to listen to music to pump me up. If I need pumping up, just blast it in my ears.
Sometimes we'll get together outside the venue like a little barbershop quartet and do like an a cappella run. Just try and get people through the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. I think it's a bit of an outdated thing, the pre-show ritual.
I turn all my socks inside out.
Maybe, yeah.
your walkout.
Yeah, well, we like to do a walkout and everything.
That is literally a pre-show routine. Like just literally.
Yeah.
And
And we always print out our set list. Too many times I've seen a band literally in the rehearsal room, or sorry, the green room, 5 minutes before they're about to go on stage, scribbling.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
And I just love giving set lists to people that already have 5 of them. You know what I mean?
Take it, Mum.
Great
Yeah.
feeling.
Here you go, Mum. Take it over.
That's why we always print ours off. We always have like 10 copies because they always get lost,
Prince
or
Stein.
we change something literally last minute where they're like, with the band before runs over or something, or they're like, oh, you've got like, you got to do like 5 minutes left. Well, oh, for fuck's sake, we'll do. I guess we'll do.
You like to prepare in that sense, because you sort of want your head cleared, don't you, when you're going on.
And also, it just looks cleaner, doesn't it? If there's a nice printed set list on the floor, obviously people are going to see that because it's on the stage, and it saves you looking at your phone.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. If you're having to look at your phone, that's poor, isn't it?
I can't remember who we saw, but I think it was a solo artist, or it was them and a drummer or something. But he had his whole set list just written on his arm in like Sharpie. It's like, just help him remember. He just had like the last like 4 songs or something, because he says he always forgets or something, and he just has them written down on his arm. And I'm like, it's pretty good. But then no one gets a set list. It's just like tear the skin off his arm. Okay, and then I was going to ask, what is your like big aim for the band currently?
Oh, domination.
Someone's going to say something else then, so I'm glad you didn't say it.
Well, so the current
The opposite.
trajectory is, as we mentioned a couple of times, we've got this EP coming out. The first single for which is coming out next week, actually. Very exciting times. So the immediate goal would be to sort of just get that in as many years as possible, wouldn't it?
Yep. Play to as many people as possible as well.
Yeah, just getting out as much as we can. I think I'd like to be in a position this time next year where we're going on more organised, almost like tours. Like we've got an actual.
We can comfortably pick a lot.
Yeah.
Aim for a year is to have a week-long sold-out residency at Brixton O2 Academy.
Whoa.
Aim in my sights high.
Yeah, but if we're talking about ultimate goals, they say Brixton Academy that's a venue to play.
Headline Brixton Academy. I wouldn't even care. We've got a support slot, if I'm honest.
For us, that's a real we've made it moment.
Bricks.
Personal goal, Ali Pally.
Ali
Ali
Pally.
Pally.
Have to.
Good
Well,
one.
obviously, that's
I wouldn't even mind playing Crystal Palace. That's
That's a
sick.
good
We're
one.
missing the festivals, guys.
Well, listen.
Who cares?
Obviously, everyone's ultimate goal is to do Glastonbury. But as the years go by, that's a more exclusive club.
Yeah.
So you got to
Start
I mean, in 10 years, they'll have Coldplay. This is our 20th time playing Glastonbury, guys.
it's one of them. But who says you can't dream for that?
Yeah, exactly. Again, manifest.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he gets to go to Glastonbury for free, basically.
Exactly.
I guess.
That's the main point.
Yeah.
Go backstage.
Easier than getting tickets.
Go backstage. Pretty much. Yeah, but I'm on one of the smaller stages. Like I can go back.
Yeah, they'll probably let you, I reckon.
Yeah.
They can't keep track. I'm in this band, for sure. I'm in Coldplay, I'm the drummer.
I mean, yeah.
Just find like a cable, so untie it. I'm the roadie.
Yeah.
Retie it, untie it again.
Yeah. Yeah, if you just carry some XLRs around, I reckon they'll let you through. Yeah.
Be sure of yourself.
Looking inquisitively at things. It's not meant to be there. Sorry, I'm stage manager. Sorry.
The XLR's hide his jacket, sorry.
Yeah.
You want
There you
to
go.
weird.
Yeah.
Andy, please.
And a god complex.
Yeah. Tony, we need more alcohol on stage.
Yeah.
Band's not out yet for me.
Just give it to me. I'll give it to you.
And is there anything that you wish you could tell yourself when you were just starting out? Either as the start of your music thing, or or as the start of the band.
Don't push yourself too hard. That's a big one for me.
Burnout's real.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good
Burnout.
one.
Because you spend all of your time just in your room trying to what's going to hit, you don't care about that. Just do what you love, and don't force yourself to write anything if you don't feel like it.
Don't be so desperate for gigs that you're putting yourself out for them. Don't chase them. If a gig isn't right, it isn't right. We've had a couple London gigs in our what I have anyways.
You hear the
where
name and you just jump on it, don't you?
Yeah.
because it's a London gig.
Yeah.
You're obviously buzzing, but it's not really the one, and you're worse off for it. So just and that's not to slag London. particularly, but that's just an example. Yeah, just not being a bit more patient with the gigs. Let them come to you a bit, and yeah, take your time to really scout out the venues that you want to play at. Yeah, because it's there's no reason at this level why we should be playing more than 1 gig a month, really, because
exactly.
that's the sort of
level. When you've not got that big expansive audience, you're probably going to get the same circuit of people coming to watch.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you've got 4 gigs in a month, you're only really going to get a good turnout.
Yeah, you'd rather have 1 gig a month where 20, 30 people come, rather than 4 gigs in 1 month where 3 people come to each one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say to myself, just try and always keep playing things that you enjoy. Don't play things for other people. Play things for yourself. I mean, I went through a period a while back. I mean, I've been playing for ages, but everything just got so monotonous, and I just couldn't be arsed. I wasn't enjoying anything I was playing. Then obviously you start listening to new music, you get inspired more, and then you start playing the things that you want to play and that you enjoy, and then it just completely different headspace about it, and you just rediscover your love for it. It ties into the burnout. I think it's so easy just to get so put off what you're doing. And you just walk past your instrument every day.
Almost disillusioned.
Yeah. I mean, you walk past your instrument every day and go, should I practice? I just can't be arsed.
Yeah.
I mean, but...
No, we always find it when creativity sparks, isn't it? And it's like you just got to jump on it then. And then you just have, rather than trying to force it, it's better just to, just say, it does come, doesn't it? Eventually it will come to you.
Songs are already written.
Yeah.
They just have to find you.
We will never ever force ourselves to write songs. You'll just never be as good as being inspired.
No. What were you going to say, George, about what you tell yourself?
I would tell myself it's as much as it is really fun. Being a musician is like the best thing ever. It's also a job. So you got to still, as much as you want to have this thought process of like, I'm doing this for fun. This is like the funnest thing ever. You got to still be on it, because I've been not just in Matty Ram, but I'm taking this from like other bands where the band has not pulled their weight in the sense of like we've got things happening, can't all together put into stuff. Charlie's staring at me. I love it. So yeah, just trying to like put in the hardest work that you can, or not the hardest work, but put in the work that you can, and don't treat it seriously.
Don't take it for granted.
Remember, you're a brand as well as an artist.
This is serious.
Yeah, you're not just gonna all of a sudden wake up and go, oh shit, I've got 1 million followers. Oh, is that Glastonbury emailing me? Yeah, I'll see if I've got time. It doesn't ever come from one person not grinding it out and making that path for themselves.
Speaking of which, after this interview, we're literally just going to film about 20 TikToks, and that's all the rest of our.
And then just hug for about 20 minutes, just for a little.
Yeah, just hug because we're so depressed after it.
We've got 4 in the bed, easy.
That's the bit we hate. We never make TikToks. We've given up.
It's quite good, actually. People
It's
underestimate
good. It's a necessary evil, I'd say.
Yeah.
The problem is that you run the risk of if a 30-second clip of one of your songs goes viral, and then all of a sudden people are coming to your gigs, but they only know 10
Face,
seconds of the
yeah.
song, and they don't know
That
anything
is
else.
danger.
Steve Lacy had that, didn't he, for a while?
Yeah.
He had that. I got my tongue, it's a bad habit.
Yeah, very true.
Evan, you probably won't play it anymore.
Yeah.
Get sick of it.
You guys are singing along to the song.
Yeah.
Had enough of that.
Bloody TikTok song. So what would you say is the hardest thing about being a musician? Is it like the burnout thing you're saying, or is there other things you have?
I would say for me personally, work-life balance. Obviously we're all fully time employed. If that's the right terminology.
Yeah, Charlie.
So we're not getting off work until 4 o'clock. We all work in education. Well, Charlie doesn't, but we all work in education.
Yeah.
So it's school hours. We're getting home, and sometimes you're too knackered to even think about picking up the guitar. And I think the other thing, I was just going to say that sort of partners with it is the fact that your responsibilities as part of the band and as a musician are not musical. They're social media. Instagram,
You're like
you've got to do
6
this,
things
you've
at
got
the
to
same
promote a
time.
single. You know, at this level, we are our
You have to
manager.
multitask.
We're our social media person. We're not musicians at all,
Graphic
really.
designer.
It's
Yeah.
scary how little time is actually spent doing music, and so those things sort of go hand in hand for me. Sometimes I'll get home from work and I'm like, really, I've actually got to do a TikTok and post it, sort of thing. But yeah, that's me, anyways.
One of the hardest things for me personally is the struggle to just constantly improve. Whenever I see people that are playing and they're a lot better than I am, or if I've kind of been at the same level, I put a lot of pressure on myself to get better. And I find that quite difficult because sometimes when you haven't got that teacher there, you don't know what you need to do to get better. So that just kind of stresses me out. But you need to double down. You need to practice. You can't stay at the same level. You need to improve yourself at some stage because you're never going to get anywhere if you stay like sterile and you stay
got to have
stationary.
some like acceptance as well. It's like there's always going to be a bigger fish. You know, if
Well,
you're,
yeah,
if you're
it's
always
not-
chasing other things.
Well, it's not necessarily even about chasing other people's success. It's about you need to make sure that you're not static.
Yeah, you still above
Because the music industry is spinning. If you stay still,
Yeah, but you got to trust yourself that you're just doing that naturally, because you are. I feel like you put that pressure on yourself, where really, like you start playing guitar for songs. I mean, he's been on piano, and now he's on guitar, and that was a natural change for you.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, just don't stress.
I'd say the hardest thing is to not compare yourself to others.
oh yeah,
It is always easily done. Like you look at people and you go, "Wow, I want to be like them."
even when you know you shouldn't do it, you still do it.
Yeah,
It's a human
exactly.
thing.
It's
It's a human
subconscious.
thing, yeah.
You want to be better. You're like, "Oh, I can't
Yeah,
wait
of
until life's like that."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you don't know how hard they work to get to that spot.
It's even when you see someone out there with a nice car, you just think,
Yeah.
fucking hell, I want that.
That's a lovely.
That's a lovely
ride.
But little do you know, that guy could barely afford to pay for that car. He's working 7 days a week, 80-hour weeks, and he's barely afford to pay for this car. But he's got it anyway.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah. How did that turn into that?
Yeah, you turned into that.
It shuts up.
Go on, George. Put us back on track.
What was it? Question? What
Hardest part.
Hardest part.
Good song by Matty Rand.
Yeah, it is. Hardest part as a musician.
New
Yeah,
albums.
like Matt was saying, actually, kind of the work-life balance. Like as we said, us three, we're teachers. Charlie does his own golf thing, so he's not a part of the teachers' squad, unfortunately. That's not a bad thing.
It's definitely not a bad thing.
As much as people say like, oh yeah, teaching's like quite easy, you get loads of time off. You are still like you're knackered after a day of work.
Slave to the
Like, and
system.
that's as a drummer, obviously. I'm a drummer.
Are you a drummer?
Drummer,
I'm
by
a
the way.
drummer.
His name's George as well.
Yeah. And he's a teacher, by the way.
Yeah, it just kills you, and it's yeah, you got to try to find that energy, and try to find that energy is something that is really important, and it's unique, and it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
Trying to find that energy, and trying to find that kind of natural grab, because as everyone here has said, you don't really want to force it, especially when you're practicing, when you're playing, when you're doing whatever. You don't want to force it. So yeah, just trying to find that kind of natural, organic feeling, energy, vibe, whatever you're doing.
What I think has been nice is that we've been getting a bit of payoff with these new songs and seeing them come together and the feeling that gives you, and playing them live as well. That's been the payoff of it. That's the motivation for me, anyways. To do the rehearsing and come home from work and go, no, I'm not going to sleep. I'm picking myself up.
Worked all that
cracking
time
on.
for what?
Yeah.
One less philosophical answer. One of the hardest things about being a musician is trying to pick a gig outfit. Oh my god.
Oh my
I cannot.
That's the best part.
I can't. I just
Yeah, but
don't. I
it's so
don't own
hard
that.
because you need to obviously make sure you're not matching with anybody else.
No, even that.
Also that you're unique and it fits.
And you're not wearing the same
Really
thing you wore
passionate
last
about
gig.
this subject.
I do not own that many clothes, and for me to wear a different show for every gig, it just stresses me out. It does.
I've worn this t-shirt here now, so I can't ever wear it for a gig. Anything
Yeah.
ever in public ever again.
That's right, and you got to have your pre-gig outfit before you go on stage. I mean, you've got your on-stage outfit.
Soundcheck outfit, yeah.
Yeah.
And the mandatory vest underneath the t-shirt, because the t-shirt's going to come off at some point.
Yeah.
Set.
Just immediately.
Just throw nipples out.
Yeah.
You can't wear shorts. You can't wear shorts on stage. That's an absolute cardinal sin in the in the gig world, isn't it?
I get away with it because I look good in it. So.
What about drummer? What's your thoughts on drummer?
I think the drummer's the exception, isn't it? With the
You could play in your boxes, nobody would notice.
Yeah, true.
That's good.
Don't.
If I got
Don't.
warm
Keep your socks on, man.
yeah, of course.
So, and what we've gone from what you said the hardest thing. I don't want to go the easiest thing, but I wanted to say what would you say is your greatest accomplishment so far?
Relentless. I can't say it, sorry.
No.
Either as a band or just as an individual, or it doesn't have to be music related. Just
I would say, in terms of as a band, since we started out, our greatest accomplishment has been writing called Lately Vacant.
High five.
That song, if any song is going to take us anywhere, that song is our ticket, mate. That's
That was a really good song.
yeah.
Not to.
I'd say as a
No,
band,
it's-
that's our thing. But obviously, we can say our individual things. I'd say for me, I'm quite proud of our live performances. I think we've got good energy on stage. I think so. It comes quite naturally to us. I'd say. In others, it doesn't, and so I don't take it for granted. If you know what I mean. Because I know for a fact that there's some people out there that really have to force it. So I just find it fortunate that I don't really have to do that. Because
Comes with
I can
enjoying
imagine that being a pain in the backside.
Just going
The bottom.
Yeah.
Just comes with enjoying the music you make, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Personally, it's going to sound really cringe, but just enjoying the time with your mates. Just it doesn't even matter about shut up, bitch. It doesn't matter about making music because you're with three of your good mates. You're making some like banging music. Who cares? Nobody should. You're on that stage. You're having fun. That is the easiest part of it.
Yeah. The audience is just there watching you have fun with your mates. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is all it is.
And we get paid for it at the end.
Sometimes.
Occasionally.
Maybe 1 in 5 gigs. But
Yeah.
when you get to see the gig,
Right.
if you're the support, you get to see the gig afterwards for free, which is always
Yeah.
No, I
What we
definitely
like.
agree with that. One of our greatest accomplishments is, I mean, we've not really been a band for that long, but just how we've all kind of come together and this band image.
You
and-
think we were a band for years?
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to sum it up.
Well, yeah. I mean, you kind of look at us and how well we've all gelled together, both on stage and off as well. It's a good accomplishment because the videos are good of the gigs. You know, the songs are good, and I'm proud of how much cooperation there is. I mean, there's not just one person doing this and then one person going. You know, so it's a well-oiled machine. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like a car.
also.
It's like a crispy.
Like a crispy.
Buns is Matt. He's the holds us together,
Matty Buns.
and then the chicken is the base because it's just there and it's good and it's juicy. And then I'm the lettuce because I'm just like that fresh little perspective. And then George is the sauce because George has the sauce. I eat a lot of those.
You can tell I'm hungry.
Yeah,
No, fair enough. We have almost got to the hour mark, so we can wrap it up around there if you'd like, lads.
if you've got questions, mate, answers.
We got absolutely. We can do a rapid fire.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
okay.
Oh, okay. So let's take it in turns to answer rapid fire. So we'll go around that way.
I'll go. Being second.
It's like a clock. So you
Yeah,
one,
go.
2, 3. What's this one? Rapid fire questions.
If we've got any good ones, right? Does coriander taste like soap to you?
Always ask for no coriander. That's basic advice.
Eat it up.
Next.
What is your spirit animal?
Donkey. Wait.
Wait, I'm going to take this eternal
Yeah,
secret.
this is so much more
That just came to me.
I like jellyfish.
sloth.
Alpaca.
Name and all well.
That's a good
Bring
spirit.
Ripley.
What would be your Bond girl name?
Serafina.
Bond girl, like James Bond.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch James Bond.
Crystal with a K.
Ooh.
Can't have one.
Serafina.
I wouldn't know Serafina.
I can see the vision with Serafina.
George.
Perfect. Right.
Charlie.
There's some good answers. So, have you got any exciting new stuff coming up? Obviously, you said your EP. When's that out? What's it called? Or have you said what it's called, or have you not said yet?
It's a secret.
A secret. Never mind.
Our
You never
first
heard that
single-
EP?
No, we're not allowed to say the name yet.
All right, yeah.
But the EP is coming, and the first
Yeah.
single for it is called "Pleasure Is Yours," and it is coming out next Thursday at midnight.
Oh my
Exciting times. Wednesday midnight, sorry.
Yeah, and they'll just have to wait for the announcement, I guess, won't they?
This is actually the announcement. This is it.
Oh,
So-
fair enough.
Crispy.
But yeah, that's our big news at the minute.
Mhm.
It's
Have you got gigs? Yeah.
We've got gigs coming up. We're playing at Flitton Eat Feast on the 18th of July. So if anyone who lives in Bedfordshire/Hertfordshire/Buckinghamshire fancies a bit of sunshine music in the field, some lovely food and some lovely pints, they should come down, watch us for free, and then stick around for the DJ set after. Yeah, right. I'm gonna just carry
Fair
on.
enough. And where's
Ad-libs.
the best place for people to find you?
I would say Instagram, which is _Matty_Ram_.
Threads.
Threads ties in with Instagram, and TikTok's Matty_Ram.
Yeah. Spotify.
Spotify Matty Ram.
Facebook.
Matty Ram.
Tumblr.
We've got Tumblr.
Reddit.
Reddit.
Twitter.
Matty Ram.
My
Right.
Twitter.
Bin Weevils. What's your Bin Weevils name? Roblox.
Weevil's username.
Yeah.
Weevils is a crazy
Passion
program.
man. I was more of a top penguin. The penguin's real, damn it.
Yeah.
Is that angelic?
With a Z.
Fair enough. So that's where people can find you. Best place to find you at a gig, obviously, to go see them live. We'll have to try and get you down in the south as well, down here.
Yes, absolutely.
Will be good because we normally we rent out the venue and then we put our own show on and then we do all the promo and everything ourselves. You know, do all the bands ourselves. So we're always looking for bands to play.
There's a joiners gig in Southampton. Let's go.
I can't do that. I can do Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Even better.
Even
Yeah.
better, to be fair, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, we got good in with the at the Anvil, and they usually let us rent out the room for pretty cheap, so we can put on whatever show we want. I mean, it doesn't matter if we make money or not because we don't care because it's only like it's not that much money. So I won't say how much, but
It's not about the money, it's about the passion.
yeah, exactly, that's true. But we always try and pay the bands at least petrol money, back.
Right. So my part takes about £300.
Yeah, yeah, you've all got like Nissan Skylines. Right, so we're gonna say goodbye there. We've been an hour. We've done the
Thank you
rapid
for having
fire.
us.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, guys. It's been amazing talking to you. But yeah, we'll definitely have to do a gig swap or something. Sort something out. Absolutely. Right. Cheers for watching, everyone. Cheers for chatting, Matty Ram. We'll catch you all soon.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. I've lost the window which has the end stream button. Right. Goodbye.